Okay, mic's on. I'm not gonna make that mistake again. Got everything else situated. Let's go. Good morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching this. I'm your host, LeafyPotatoStyle. Welcome to another NRTS 1v1 cast. This cast was part of the first Saturday Smackdown. The second one has already taken place, which is nice. I may or may not have overslept it by 2 hours, thus diminishing its player count, but that's beyond the point. If you enjoy this video and would like to join in a future event, you can join the Discord that we hosted on and the link in the description. Beyond that, I guess if you like the video, I mean, YouTube has a fancy button for that. That'd be pretty neat if you clicked it. Over here already like begging at the, what is this, 5th video of my channel. Let's go. Goals. We see I am in the blue player's position on Grasslands, playing against Commandermonke, who is purple. My opening is fairly standard. I didn't execute it quite cleanly. If you're not going to upgrade one of your farms in the beginning, you should just go and make 2 militia immediately. Doesn't end up mattering that much because I don't end up needing them at the same spot at the same time. And already purple's made a tower before he's gotten his 5th farm up. So I'm very happy about this. I've got my militia in positions where I can keep him from freely expanding without first making militia. I've got my workers in a place where they can continue making farms for as long as freaking possible. Got a militia already shooting at a farm. Got another militia on the way to deny it. And yeah, this contain is just brutal. My CC isn't working right now, but I am banking, well, I was banking money to make farms. If I was going to make militia, I probably should have just gone ahead and made it. I suppose I have an eco such that I can make farms pretty consistently with 2 workers while also making militia, but now yeah. I mean, I'm really happy about this. If you're purple in this position, you have to try to break through one of my thinner lines of militia, which I will form up fairly quickly. He's got a number of militia, so it's not like he doesn't have an army, but I am at his doorstep. I do have higher eco. I'm making my first house, and as soon as that's out, then I've got a major advantage over him. In that I can have 5 more militia than him, and that's not just 15 militia versus 10 militia. That is 13 versus 8, which is a significant portion more in the latter case. Which pretty much just means that I can hold 2 fronts against that guy holding 1. Now he's building a 2nd tower. He's trying to keep it so that I can't take that forward farm, which I guess is fair, but he's also committing to a 3rd tower, which is a bit much. If you're pink in this position, you just need to get enough militia that you are a threat to any one of my holdings. I believe from here I end up, vehicle depot, and I think later I end up towering that choke. It probably would have been a smarter decision to just go ahead and hold the choke closer between those 2 unbuilt farms between purple and red space. Though it is harder to defend with a couple towers. Now pink's finally moving out. He's like, okay, he's only got 2 militia at this unbuilt farm and an unbuilt tower, so that's not going to be that much of a threat. And he realizes that I still don't have enough militia to outright kill him. I don't have my militia grouped up that well initially, but this fight's going to go pretty well for me. You see, he ends up attacking the farm a lot before the militia even start fighting. The farm's dead now, which is fine, but my militia have done significant damage to his before anything really started happening. Actually, I end up losing the fight. Must have been misremembering that. I lose the fight, but I've got a recon on the way. He goes and he's trying to build a tower. I've got a recon and a militia in the back. Just gonna take this farm. And I believe I will build a tower in kind to keep his militia from pushing. Though 1 militia and a recon definitely beat 3 militia. I'm just trying to prevent it from being a point where I need to continuously reinforce, at least for now. Just be able to focus on the top path there so that I can eventually just straight charge purple. I forget when I make the 3rd worker this game. I probably should have already committed to making one, just because I've got a worker working on defense and infrastructure. I've got 1 worker working on farms, but having another worker be able to work on strictly defense or strictly infrastructure so that I can keep farming while housing up and getting generators and, you know, the like. That would be nice. Purple's in survival mode. He's just trying not to die, which, fair enough. The longer this game goes, the better it is for me. I've got more of the map. Like, visually, it looks oppressive. But yeah, most of the position that I'm in right now didn't come from me directly assaulting purple, but rather just putting militia out on the farm pads. Which is pretty good for me. He finally ends up taking the 6th farm. But I don't know how much good that's going to end up doing him. I mean, that's an 18, well, not an 18% increase to his eco, but it's a significant increase to his eco. He's got what? 25, 45, 77. I might have upgraded some of his farms. I can't tell with the city farms. It's so hard to see. Okay, yeah, his 4cc farms are upgraded to my eyes. At any rate, he's got some eco. It's not like he's got none, but just the sheer amount of farms that I have, it's not really a fair fight. Still, getting any farms is a big deal if you don't have that many. He's got enough militia now that he's starting to consider breaking through at some point. Honestly, if you're purple, you break through the south here. There are 2 towers, and there is a recon, and I could perhaps move my recons down to intercept, but you could have easily, where I'm putting up a tower now, could have charged through with your units, because it wasn't even up then. You could have cleanly cut through, and just made a mad dash for my command center. I don't know that you would have killed it before my vehicles would have got there and started very killing your militia, but you could have done a lot of damage along the way. Tried to snipe a worker and then retreated into your tower wall. But yeah, purple's just kind of sitting around waiting to see what the hell's happening. If you're behind in NRTS, you kind of have to attack. I've noticed a lot of people will make towers and just wait for somebody to throw all their units into them. That really doesn't end up working too terribly well. Because if the guy who's ahead just sits back and says, well, I don't have to attack you, I'll just get a maxed army, get good tech, you know, defend my base well, so that even if I lose my maxed army, your maxed army can't kill my base. You know. I mean, when you're ahead in eco, time is your friend. So, you know, there's no need for you to go and crack your opponent right the hell now. Even if they have a big scary army, you have a bigger, scarier army. And the resources available to make a massive freaking wall. That will take them time and resources in order to conquer. Even if they do know how to RD medic, it still takes a whole bunch of time. And 1 artillery is significantly more expensive than a couple of towers. So if you can pressure that artillery back with your own forces, so that it doesn't freely shoot at your towers, then, you know, that's what you want. I'm grabbing defense research here, mainly just to make it so that any prospect of purple sniping my vehicle depot is basically null. He's got a heli out now, which is pretty annoying, but I don't recall that making much of a difference. He's gonna try to fly around the map and get some of my farms or whatever. Yeah. He's going over to the water to try to go around. I noticed it. I built an air pad in response. If you are ahead in eco, the best answer to air is air, because you're just gonna have more of it than them. Like, sure, if you've got vehicle tech and you're in a pretty even game, you can make anti-airs to pretty defensively hold your stuff. But yeah, in a game where you're ahead, if you've got vehicle tech and you've got the extra money to spend, build an air pad. The only thing as fast as a heli that is not a jeep is another heli, and jeeps don't fight against helis very well because, well, they don't have very much HP. Like, sure, you can put heavy troopers in them, but if you put 4 heavy troopers in a jeep, that suddenly means that you have $216 or 200. Sorry, I can't math right now. What is that? $224, not including the cost of the jeep. So you've got $247 in a single unit, and if that thing dies, then my god, you are just hurting. But yeah, now the one chopper that purple has out on the map, I'm contesting directly with helis. I am housed, so I shouldn't be microing my ass off against these helis. Purple could have easily spent his other heli to go and harass. He gets his first one stuck though, which is very fortunate for me. But yeah, 2v1, not winning that. I just realized I'm housed. Queue up 2 houses. So yeah, that's sloppy on me, because purple did have another heli available right now, and if he decided he wanted to send it to my other farms, it could have gotten serious damage done. Yeah, helis are really annoying. I still have yet to make a missile turret, which is not great, considering that I spent $150 with the express purpose of being able to build missile turrets. I do at least have a hospital up, which does mean that my helis are going to have a significantly better time than his. I finally get a missile turret up because I realize my tech is very, very exposed, and I've got money to float. Queuing some units, gonna build farms over at Red's old base. I'm saving for another chopper. If I was, I'm really bad at it. Okay, there we are. I should also be making militia at this point in the game. I think I'm gonna go upgrade some farms because I realize I'm starting to struggle to spend my money. I've got 15 open population, and my max is currently 60. Now I've got 20 open population. I understand that people are like, oh, well, militia is the worst unit in the game. You know, if it's 20 militia versus 20 soldiers, you lose, right? But you know, if it's 20 soldiers, but you've got 20 population space open, you know, I'd much rather have something like 40 militia versus 20 soldiers. Yeah, just getting the generator housing thing going. I've got enough units that I'm ready to start cracking some of his base. His defenses are so lightly manned compared to mine. Choppers don't do horribly against individual towers. They do horribly against a lot of towers, though. So yeah, I'm just clearing this section of the towers out to individual towers. So it's not like I took that much damage from the fight. I can pretty easily heal that off with the hospital and then go in for a charge undisturbed. Yeah, I'm pretty happy about this position. Um, what I could do now, if the game were a bit more even and a bit less of me steamrolling, and even so, what I could have done, gone and killed yellow, taken that base, at my own leisure, if I ever got enough helis to kill bases like I have now, or if I had gotten them before, could have gone and killed orange and green. It doesn't end up mattering. Purple ends up resigning, and that is the game. That was pretty fun. I think Explode's game was for the first 8 minutes. It kept me much more awake, you know. In that, like, he was a pretty competent, realistic threat to me for those 8 minutes, and then just made one critical mistake, and that was the game. Versus Commander, where he had a solid setup, but he threw away his chance of winning the game without me making a mistake pretty early on. Anyways, I hope you have enjoyed this cast. I am uploading daily. This upload is going to be a little bit later today than I would like to have uploaded it, but you know, night shift, what can you do? Anyways, have a wonderful day. Stay classy.